When we peel back the layers of celebrity life, especially its darker, more secretive side, it's fascinating to see just how many times, even in seemingly unrelated stories, there ends up being a Kardashian or two involved. I don't know about you, but America's most iconic family's presence in the shadowy corners of showbiz is something that never fails to pique our curiosity here at Hollywood Dark Side. Today, as we explore the mystifying world of Michele Lamy, the so-called industry witch, this will be no exception. Lamy's public persona hinges on her almost sinister appearance, and her art is overrun with what some interpret as occult symbolism. As a result, there have always been many theories circling her. One moment she's just an influential figure, gatekeeper, or intermediary, guiding those seeking fame and fortune, and the next she's a full-blown witch. So, what are we waiting for? Let's find out everything you need to know about the High Priestess of Paris. Lifestyles of the rich and famous, and youthful. So who is Michele Lamy anyway? In a nutshell, the official answer is that she is a prominent French clothing designer, performer, film producer, restaurateur, and notably, the wife of American fashion designer Rick Owens and mother to artist Scarlett Rouge. She is painted as a central figure in a time and place where fame and fortune are highly sought after. And at the age of 79, nothing is clearer than the fact she likes to surround herself with much younger people on a daily basis. Not only is her husband decades her junior, but she is constantly among social circles populated by young musicians, sporting heroes, movie stars, and the like. One may wonder what common ground exists between an almost 80-year-old French woman and the likes of rapper and partner to Rihanna, 𝐸 Rocky, who she is quite close to. The pair also seem to share a link in their fondness for pentagrams and other symbolism with ties to the occult. In addition, she's also been closely linked to people such as Francis Bean Cobain, Kanye West, Offset, and Takeoff from hip-hop group Migos, to name a few. Let's not forget the name you've been waiting for, Kim Kardashian. In fact, not only is it reported that Michelle and Kim have been BFFs for years, but there is an unrelenting theory that Kim and her sisters are in the same witch coven as Michele. Did you say Kardashian? Not only has witchcraft been a topic of conversation several times throughout the years on the hit show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but there is a legend about an ancestor of theirs named 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞 Kardashian, who allegedly made a pact with a coven of witches. According to this legend, 𝐥𝐤𝐤 became a witch to better navigate the challenges in her life. The pact is said to have ensured that her female descendants would inherit beauty and wealth, but would struggle in their romantic relationships. Linked to that is the concept of a Kardashian curse, which has been a topic of discussion for quite some time. Essentially, it's a theory that the Kardashian-Jenner women are witches who feed on the success of the men they become romantically involved with, and as a result, these men end up facing adverse consequences. That's the brief rundown, but there's one hell of a rabbit hole to go down with that if you're ever in the mood. Witchy vibes. Anyway, let's get back to Michele because she's fascinating enough on her own. She crafts an image that is part sorceress, part fashion icon, and there's no denying that her appearance screams witch. After all, when she's not wearing some kind of strange black mask alongside her husband, Rick, her full aesthetic is on display. Both her life and work are rich with symbols that resonate with occult traditions. From her distinct fashion choices to her artistic expressions, there's a consistent thread of exploring deeper, mystical themes. These symbols, whether in her tattoos inspired by ancient cultures or in the esoteric elements of her design work, reflect a fascination with the world beyond the tangible. Dark, enigmatic, spooky, whatever you'd like to call it, her presence would be unsettling, to say the least. From her teeth that are capped in gold to her blackout tattoos all over her fingers to her teeth that are capped in gold, she is one unique woman. Her teeth shine eerily whenever she speaks or smiles, creating a stark contrast to her usually completely black attire. And let's not forget the signature black line she draws down the middle of her forehead to keep her grounded. The conjecture about her involvement in a witch coven not only enhances her mystique, but also places Michele within Hollywood's long-standing narrative of enigmatic yet incredibly powerful women. In a town where tales of secret societies and hidden knowledge captivate just as much as any blockbuster, Michele makes waves wherever she goes. Her association with occult practices, whether fact or fiction, adds even more compelling layers to her persona. A figure of power and secrecy. Michel Lamy stands as a formidable figure in the entertainment and fashion industries, often perceived as somewhat of a gatekeeper or guardian of deeper, less visible sides to celebrity life. Her influential role extends beyond the public eye, boasting a network of connections and knowledge typically reserved for a select few. This hidden influence mirrors the hushed layers of Hollywood, where those with the most power often take a backseat and do their best work behind the scenes. Michele's ability to navigate these discreet channels paints her as a person of considerable influence, one who understands the delicate balance between fame and secrecy. A life of contrast and the unconventional. In her career, marriage, and personal life, Michele has never been one to color within the lines. She was born and raised in the rugged landscapes of Jura, France, and she went on to dive headfirst into a job as a defense attorney. You'd imagine she would be exhausted after dazzling courtrooms full of people by day, but she wasn't done there. By night, she would head out and earn extra money as a dancer. Some reports say cabaret dancer, and some say stripper, so make what you will of that. In 1979, Michele Lamy embarked on a new chapter in New York before ultimately making her home in �ฑ𝐤𝐤𝐤. She launched a fashion brand and became the driving force behind two iconic restaurants/nightclubs, which she established in 1996 alongside her then-husband and father of her daughter, filmmaker Richard Newton. And while we're talking about unconventional, just wait until we get into the nitty-gritty of her second marriage. Enter her Dark Lord. By 1990, Lamy had established her own fashion label, aptly named Lamy. It was during this period that she brought on board none other than Rick Owens, the so-called Dark Prince of Fashion, who would not only become a key figure in her professional life, but also her life partner. The couple decided to relocate from Los Angeles to Paris in 2003 and tied the knot in 2006. During this time, they also founded Owens Corp, their joint fashion enterprise. Their unique partnership was once humorously described as asking a gypsy to organize a war with a fascist, highlighting the dynamic and unconventional nature of their collaboration. In his own right, Rick is renowned for his designs, which often feature dramatic asymmetrical cuts and a fusion of luxury with grunge. His creations, famous for a rebellious yet sophisticated vibe, boldly contrast against the backdrop of Hollywood's traditional glamour. Carving out a niche in the fashion world that's as intriguing as it is influential, his design aesthetic, often described as glamour meets grunge, challenges conventional beauty standards. You might say the relationship between Michele and Rick transcends traditional boundaries. Although Owens is openly gay, the pair seem to share a happy life together, based on love, creativity, and quirkiness, like the strange pet names they use for each other. Michele is his fairy witch, and Rick is her dark lord. Rick's greatest hits of weirdness. Here are just some of the wackiest things that Rick Owens has done over the years. A photo shoot for ID magazine featuring him urinating on himself in a decrepit basement, which aligns with his penchant for seedy environments and fetish clubs. In his Hong Kong store, the furniture pieces include life-sized models of himself, serving as both tables and chairs. Adding to his aura of eccentricity, Rick launched an action figure based on himself. During his 2015 Sphinx collection launch, models wore garments with cutouts revealing their genitals, a provocative choice that Owens described as a form of juvenile transgression. At one point, he commissioned Madame Tussauds to create wax statues of himself, one of which audaciously depicted him naked and urinating. If you'd like a bed from his furniture collection, you can pick one up made from alabaster and marble for the princely sum of $216,000. Challenging conventions. Michele and Rick seem to get a kick out of defying societal norms, and stepping outside of traditional beauty standards. Their relationship as a whole is one unconventional choice after another. From their seemingly incompatible sexuality to the black gothic masks they're often wearing. Through their work and personal style, they challenge and redefine what is considered fashionable and beautiful. Michele, in particular, with her ritualistic black line and her unorthodox fashion choices, represents a rebellion against traditional aesthetics. Beyond fashion, the couple's influence extends into art and culture. Michele's involvement in furniture design, jewelry creation, and musical projects showcases her many talents. Through their individual and collaborative work in various artistic installations and events around the world, they push the boundaries of creativity and shy away from the mainstream. The wrap-up. Michel Lamy's presence in elite circles, alongside her affiliations with influential figures, paints a picture of someone who not only understands, but possibly controls the hidden forces that are rumored to operate behind the dazzling facade of Tinseltown. Thank you for joining us for this fascinating deep dive into the tale of Michele Lamy and Rick Owens. Now you're invited to join in the discussion. What are your thoughts? For one thing, is it really just a coincidence that members of the Kardashian-Jenner family keep popping up whenever you look into anything weird and wonderful happening in the celebrity world? Don't forget to share your 2 cents in the comments below, check out the link in the description, and hit the like and subscribe buttons to be the first to see new content from your friends here at Hollywood Dark Side.